It's a beautiful month of March right here in Nigeria, all around the globe, and we're so glad to bring you back again. Your favorite sports show, Sport Pizza, where you get the absolute best in ever exciting world of sports. My name is Bronson Uwana. The show is well loaded for your viewing pleasure today. Last week I was out injured, but I'm back to full fitness, and I should be playing the whole 90 minutes today. And of course, the show is well loaded. Lots of things lined up, from football, boxing, basketball, and even if you throw darts at home, you can also throw darts as a professional player. You want to find out how? Stick around on the show till the end. Let's take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll get to the thick of the action. Welcome back. Now, last week we played the 4-5-1 formation with Olakunle Philip, the lone striker. But today, I've returned back to our famous 4-4-2 formation. Kunle will be joining me as my strike partner. Today, I'll be scoring lots of goals. Olakunle Philip, thank you for holding on last week, and good to have you on the show today.
Thank you very much, Bronson. It's good to be back. It's good to have you back on the show, and we hope that the injury didn't really didn't have an effect on you. And as you can see,
it was a good injury.
Well, just like you said in the introduction, a lot of sporting actions took center stage last week, and we saw some beautiful games in the English Premier League, Spanish La Liga, Italian Seria A. And I was really very excited also about how things went down in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Enyimba couldn't get a win in their game last week, and also we saw the Oriental Derby. I'm always looking forward to the Oriental Derby, and the Rangers International against Atlan of Owerri. It was a very exciting game, but at the end, Rangers International secured the 3 maximum points.
For me, no thanks to Sunshine Stars. I predicted 4 Nigerian Professional Football League games, and I think I got 3 right. Sunshine Stars, I needed them to score just 1 goal, and they failed. So I'm officially angry with Sunshine Stars.
I think that if you want to play out a bet, I think you should not put your money on Sunshine Stars of Akure. This season hasn't been the best. They've been absolutely inconsistent as far as I'm concerned. If you want to play a bet and put your money on any team in the NPFL right now, you should talk about Kwara United, Rangers International, and probably the People's Elephant,
but
Enyimba Football Club.
It has to be at home anyway.
Yeah, it has to be at home. But it seems like
Aqua United has been very fantastic as well this season, and also I was very shocked to see Dakada FC 2 seasons ago came to the NPFL. People were thinking that they will rush back to relegation. But last season they were very solid. This season they are coming out like a house on fire.
Yeah, they are not looking like a team that will be relegated this season, because they started very well, and at the point in time they secured some games away from home and points away from home, which for me was really very massive for a team in their mode. You will expect probably some big teams in the NPFL to trounce them, but they are holding their own. But we wait to see how things will pan out. From our perspective, I don't see them probably among the top 3 teams at the end of the season, but with the way they're actually going, anything is possible.
So with the way things are going this season, Kule, you know how Nigerian League is. This week you are on top, the other week you are 3rd or 4th, and from 4th you can jump to 1st. But with the things are playing out in the NPFL this season, who do you think would win the league?
Yes, it's going to be a big battle between 3 teams that I'm going to be talking about. The People's Elephant, Enyimba Football Club of Aba, Kwara United, and Rangers International of Enugu, who are second on the table as we speak. We'll talk about consistency right now. Kwara United, for me, has been absolutely consistent, and they've been holding their own and ensuring that they remain at the summit of the NPFL. If they are able to sustain the momentum, don't forget, they've got some players who are also very consistent in the team right now. So if they can't sustain the momentum, for a team like Enyimba Football Club of Aba against Jigawa Golden Stars last week, they went away, and of course they were able to get a draw away from home, which for me was a very good point for them. One of their top defensive midfielders was conspicuously missing, Antonio Maka, because he got a straight red in 2 games they played. The game they played about 2 weeks ago or thereabout. So I think it's going to be a big battle between these 3 teams: Rangers International, Kwara United, and Enyimba. But when you talk about the experience, then you probably want to give it to Rangers or Enyimba.
Rangers, Enyimba, most likely to win the league. That's according to Olakunle Philip. But Mfonudo did enough for Akwa United last weekend, scoring an all-important goal that gave them all the 3 points. And from Mfonudo, a very good one for him, scored an all-important goal that gave Akwa United all-important 3 points right now. And they look very good on the table. Now, that's it on the home front. Let's take a break right now. When we come back, we'll be taking you across the board. Welcome back. Now, the European football is absolutely buzzing, from the UEFA Champions League to the UEFA Europa League. Now, the fixtures for the round of 16 for the UEFA Europa League was released sometime last week, and of course we'll be seeing a beautiful game of football later in the week, and some exciting fixtures must be said. Ajax will be playing Young Boys. Some fixtures people say are walk away, but at this stage of this competition, everybody are potential winners. Now, Dynamo Kyiv also will take on Villarreal, while Roma will take on Shakhtar Donetsk. Arsenal will be on the road in their first game against Olympiacos. Dynamo Zagreb, of course, will play host to Tottenham Hotspurs, who's scoring from all cylinders in Europa League, at which they can translate that to their league form. Manchester United also will take on AC Milan. I think that's the biggest pick of the tie. We'll be seeing Zlatan Ibrahimovic playing his former club, talking about Manchester United. Slavia Praha will take on Rangers. I mean, such a crunchy tie. As well as Granada will take on Mold Kule. Lots of fixtures, but which one excites you most?
Yeah, I think the pick of the bunch is the game involving Manchester United and AC Milan. Because when you look at both teams, these two teams have won the UEFA Champions League in the time past, and also Manchester United have also won the Europa League some couple of
3 years ago.
Yeah, ago. So AC Milan for me for a very long time have been on the doldrum, but in recent time they've been coming back, and of course you can see their performance so far in the league. Both teams are they are second on the table in their respective leagues too, which make the game very exciting. So it really promises to be fireworks out there. In the first game, the first leg is going to be played in Manchester, while the reverse fixture will go down in Italy. So I think any of the two teams can actually win it. But from what I've seen, both teams, how I've seen them play so far, I still feel that Manchester United have a slight edge over AC Milan.
Now, when it comes to Europa League, it's about the team that wants it more. Is it Manchester United or AC Milan? Time definitely will tell. Now, let's come to the English Premier League. It's been absolutely buzzing. We've seen beautiful games of football played so far. Now, the only downtime in the league this season has been playing games without fans, and I think the players are gradually adapting to that style of play. Now, Manchester City looks good for the title already, Kunle. I mean, over 10 points clear, and when City gets to this point, when they pick form the way they've done right now, it's very difficult to curtail.
Yeah, it's very difficult to curtail. About 12 points, just like you said, they lead, over Manchester United. At a point in time, I think we really want to say that, the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer-led team have been absolutely disappointing, dropping points, allowing them, at a point in time, they were leading by over 8 to 10 points, but they slowed down, and Manchester City, they rejuvenated and they started getting the point. Right now, about 12 points, they lead Manchester United. With the way things are right now, and with the form they are in at the moment, even when 2 weeks ago when they played against an Arsenal team at the Emirates, it wasn't the best of performance from them from Manchester United.
They grind out a win.
Yeah, they were able to grind out a win, and that's the ability. I think what makes a great team or a champion team is their ability to churn out win, even when the chips are down.
Yeah, your bad day, exactly.
That's on their bad day, and that was exactly what they did. I think that with the way things are right now, it's going to be very difficult to stop Manchester City from winning the league.
No doubt, Kunle, that Manchester City at this point could be very, very difficult to catch, but it's left for the other teams to play the catch-up game. But for Arsenal, they're looking good after they had a very good comeback over Leicester City. I mean, no one saw that coming. Arteta looks like he has found that missing spot with Arsenal team. Manchester United's game against Chelsea was a barren draw. I mean, it was exciting to watch, but no goals at all. Now, Chelsea is still undefeated. under the new manager. Now, Gareth Bale scored a brace last weekend. I mean, it looks like he's the missing piece in that Tottenham Hotspur's attack. How can this form continue? Time will tell. Now let's move away from England and go to La Liga, where we are seeing exciting game of football. Atletico Madrid, I mean, sometimes they get it right, but it looks like this time form is beginning to tell on them. Now there are doubts if they can really win the title this season.
Yeah, I think in the last few weeks, it hasn't been the best of time for Atletico Madrid. It wasn't the way they started the league. They've been, taking their feet off the gas pedal. And, at a point in time, they were leading other teams with a number of points. But right now, the points are very close. And some of the teams are capitalizing on the fact that they've lost some couple of games in recent times. So, looking at the way they played in the UEFA Champions League against Chelsea, they lost right there at the Vicente de Calderon, which for me was absolutely very disappointing for them. But they were able to come back last week, beating Villarreal, and of course, securing the 3 maximum points. Fantastic for them. But just about 4-5 points separate them and Barcelona as we speak. But they have a game in hand, which also gives them an advantage. If they win, they extend the point. And then for Real Madrid, they're going to have a lot to do to be able to catch up with Atletico Madrid right now. They will also hope that probably Atletico Madrid will drop points so that they can also get the point. For Barcelona, I think they are beginning to get their rhythm. This is the kind of form we expect them, the kind of performances we expect from them when they play against teams. We saw a great performance on their side away from home. Ousmane Dembele and of course Lionel Messi got the important goals for them.
That goal was very vital for the chase right now. And I think Barcelona looks like a team without Messi. That team would be in shambles. But there are a lot of talks if Messi would leave in the summer or not. Whether that will happen is left to be seen. The summer is just around the corner. But in Serie A, guys, Juve dropped an all-important point against Hellas Verona. I'm sure most people would have thought that would be a straight win. Cristiano Ronaldo scored the only goal for Juve. Just like what Liverpool is suffering right now, the major back four of Juve are currently injured right now, and they've been struggling after that.
Last week, Brownson, I said something. The coach of the former coach of someone you don't really like, and I think Johnny too doesn't really like. The man, Mauricio Sarri, said something. He said when he was in charge of Juve, there was a time he went to play a game and the team didn't do well in the away game in the UEFA Champions League. And Cristiano Ronaldo went ahead to report him to the management that he doesn't like his style, his way of coaching and all of that, his acumen and all of that. And that was one of the things that led to his departure from Juve. And when he was there, he said he won the league with them, which we also. But he said he would be delighted. He will see how the current coach, their former legend, is able to, make the UEFA Champions League sports, and he will be very glad. He will see how Cristiano Ronaldo will feel if he eventually gets to play in the UEFA Europa League. I think it hasn't been the best of time for Juve right now. Dropping point against Hellas Verona. Hellas Verona against Juve anytime, we expect the 3 maximum points, and of course, beating them by a number of goals. That's the way Juve has fed so far this season. It hasn't been
but no thanks to injuries.
For them. Yeah, no thanks to injuries.
I think the front line is good.
Even without injuries, they've been struggling to win games. Brownson, you will agree with me that they've not really been convincing this season. We've seen a team, the two teams have been more consistent as far as I'm concerned in the Italian Serie A has been AC Milan and Inter Milan, and both teams are really giving it a chase, while Juve, the old ladies, are actually dropping in the pecking order.
Very well said, Kule. Let's see how well that pans out to be. But let's talk about boxing at this time. Now, Tyson Furry and Joshua, the fight is beginning to have these doubt feels around it. Now, it reminds me of Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, the hype around that bout, and it was disappointing to most boxing fans. Now, will this bout holds in 2021, because Tyson Furry is saying agreement is still far from being reached as far as the Joshua bout is concerned. Now, when boxers talk about agreement, it has to do with the dollars, the sharing formula and all of that. Yeah. So Joshua feels he has the most belts, or I want to say the most titles and he's dictating the pace. But the sharing formula is not okay with Tyson Furry.
Yeah, it's not okay with him. And then one will have thought that probably when they talked about the fight in the land of the day in 2020, we thought that by now most of the agreements will have been reached, and probably the date will have been what the organizers will and everyone will have been looking forward to. But Tyson Furry coming out to say that they've not really been able to reach agreement, and we're not really getting to hear much from the side of Anthony Joshua. I think that there's really a lot to really talk about as far as the agreement.
Do you think Joshua really want to fight Tyson Furry?
Yes, I think he's ready to fight him. At the last bout that I think Anthony Joshua engaged himself in, he said his main target right now is Tyson Furry. Why Tyson Furry also spoke about the fact that he also wants to fight him. So why not? That should see the light of the day. But most Nigerians and most boxing fans are saying Tyson Furry, Anthony Joshua shouldn't fight Tyson Furry, because when you look at his physique and all of that, his record, his antecedents, his looks, and every other thing, they are looking at the fact that Anthony Joshua is a Nigerian and he should try to maintain his record.
But he needs to be a fighting champion.
He needs to be a fighting champion. And from what we're saying, Tyson Furry is ready, but we're not hearing much from the side of Anthony Joshua. But we hope that in few months or probably in few weeks, news will emerge from there, from the side of Anthony Joshua, and of course they will reach an agreement. He also said that if eventually the bout doesn't see the light of the day this year, he said it's been long that he fought, and it's giving him a lot of concern, because when you fight, the last time he was involved in a fight was last year, I think in 2020. He needs to keep fit. He needs to keep fighting so that he will be in the right, in good shape. I think Anthony Joshua has fought a bout. He fought, I think Anthony Joshua fought
late last year.
So that gives him an advantage over Tyson Furry, and that is what he's complaining about. He wants the agreement to be reached so that both can go to the ring and battle it out.
Let's see how well that goes. Anyway, it's still a lot of things and a lot of time to take. Let's talk about Formula One a bit. 2020 wasn't a very good year for Ferrari, but they are looking good to fine-tune their cars ahead of the 2021 season. Charles Leclerc says Ferrari have made quite a good step with their 2021 cars, but admits it's too early to say how well the team will perform this year. Ferrari had their worst season for 40 years in 2020, but the team have worked hard to fixing their main weakness, and that's the engine. There were lots of complaints from the drivers, but it looks like the constructors this season are doing it well. But who's going to win the race and who's going to win the constructor standing? Mercedes are also looking set to dominate. They dominated last season and also doing everything possible to ensure they retain the title. With that is a wrap on our show today. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. I want to appreciate your viewers. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms currently displaying on your screen. Go to our YouTube channel and watch a repeat broadcast of this show. Olakule Philip, thank you for being a part of the show today.
It's always my pleasure, Bronson.
Yes, with that is a wrap. Please stay safe. If you must go out, use a face mask and ensure to observe the social distancing. My name is Bronson Uwana. Enjoy your week.